Welcome back to my class, Easy Maths by Sukumar. Students, we are going to learn a new topic, tangents and secants to a circle. Actually, this is the 9th chapter for class 10 students, AP board, for AP board students. Tangents and secants to a circle. Okay. See, my dear students, what is a circle? Circle means set of points in a plane. This set of points in a plane are at a fixed distance from a fixed point. This set of points in a plane are at a fixed distance from a fixed point. So, my dear students, so this fixed point is called center of the circle, and this fixed distance is called radius, So, the distance between the center to the any point on the circle is also called radius. The distance between the center to the any point on the circle. So it is called radius. This fixed point is called center of the circle. So here this fixed point is called center of the circle. So my dear students, circle means set of points in a plane are at a fixed distance from a fixed point. So this fixed point is called center, and this fixed distance is called radius of the circle. Okay. See, my dear students, here in this circle, you know what is circumference? Circumference means, what is a circumference? Circumference means the total length of the arc of a circle. The total length of the arc of a circle. Generally, the circumference is equals to be denoted by C. So, this is equals to 2 pi r. C is equals to 2 pi r, or this 2 times radius is equals to diameter. This is the diameter. See here, this AB is called the diameter. 2 times radius is called diameter. So here this 2 times radius, 2r is equals to d. Okay. See here, instead of this 2r you can write pi d. So the circumference of a circle is equals to pi d. So here this pi is a constant. If you take any circle with different radii, then this pi is equals to what? The ratio of circumference and the diameter of a circle with different radii of a circles are constant. That means this pi is equals to 22/7. This is the constant. Actually, it is an irrational number. The value of pi in decimal form approximately 3.14. This is not exact value. 3.14. Since it is an irrational number, this pi has no exact value. Okay. And my dear students, this 3.14, that means 14th March we celebrate as Pi Day. Pi is a Greek word. So we celebrate 14th March on the eve of great scientist Einstein's birthday. We celebrate what? Pi Day also on the birthday of the great scientist Einstein. Okay. So my dear students, circumference is equals to pi d. The ratio of circumference and the diameter of a circle is equals to pi. That pi is equals to 22/7, and the decimal form of pi is equals to 3.14. Okay. And again, let us discuss what we have learned in the previous classes regarding the circle. So you might have learned about the circle and the parts of the circle in the previous classes, like 9th, 8th, 7th classes. Okay. See, my students, circle, as I told you, It is what? Set of points in a plane are at a fixed distance from a fixed point. Okay, the next topic is chord of a circle. What is chord? Chord means it is a line segment joining any 2 points on the circle. So this is a line segment joining, just take 2 points on the circle and join them. So this is called the chord of a circle. We can draw infinite chords to a circle. We can draw infinite chords to a circle. But the longest chord of a circle is passing through the center of the circle. The longest chord of a circle which passes through the center of the circle. And this CD is also called diameter. This is called diameter, which is the longest chord in a circle. This is the longest chord in a circle. Okay, in a circle. So my students, you know what is a chord? Chord means it is a line segment joining any 2 points on a circle is called the chord of a circle. And moreover, the longest chord in a circle is called the diameter. Okay, so you know what is a chord also. And the next one is arc. Arc of a circle. Arc. Arc means, my dear students, it's just like a part of the circle. See, for example, this is an arc. So for the center of the circle, for this circle, this AB is an arc. This AXB is an arc. Okay. See, my dear students, this is the diameter, as I told you. This CD is the diameter here. So which is the longest chord in a circle. This diameter divides the circle into 2 halves. That means it divides the circle into 2 equal parts. So this each equal part is called the semicircle. This is the center of the circle. So this is AB is the diameter here. So this is semicircle. That means half of a circle. So my dear students, here we can compare this arc of a circle with the semicircle, with the arc of a semicircle. If this arc is less than the arc of the semicircle, then this arc is called minor arc. Minor arc. This arc is, the length of this arc is less than the arc of a semicircle, then this arc is called minor arc. Suppose if this arc is more than what? More than the semicircle, the length of the semicircle, the length of this arc is what? Here, just look here. This arc is more than the length of this arc of a semicircle, then this arc is called major arc. What? Major arc. So my dear students, you know what is minor arc and major arc. Both these arcs we can compare with the what? The arc of a semicircle. Okay, and the next topic is here. You know what is a radius and what is diameter, what is chord, and what are the 2 arcs. One is minor arc and the major arc, and we have also learned semicircle. Okay, now we know what? Segment of a circle. See here, this is the center of the circle. O is the center of a circle. See here, this AB is the chord and this is the what? Arc of a circle. See, a segment is bounded by a chord and arc of a circle. So segment means it is bounded by what? Chord and arc of a circle. So this is called what? A segment. This is minor segment. This is called minor segment. Here also we compare this minor segment with what? Semicircle. This is the diameter. This is what? Another segment. This semicircle is also, we can call it as segment. So this segment is what? Less than this segment of semicircle, then it is called minor segment. So minor segment means what? It is bounded by a chord and the arc of this segment. Arc of this segment. So it is called segment. So this minor segment means it is this segment, this region, this area is less than the segment of a what? Semicircle, then it is called minor segment. And this remaining part, if you observe here, what? It is more than the area of a what? Semicircle. So it is called major segment. So this region is called major segment. Here also, my dear students, this major segment is bounded by what? Chord, AB chord, and what? This arc of a circle. So this is called major segment and this is minor segment. And our next topic is sector of a circle. See, what is a sector? Sector means, look here. See, this is the center of the circle. Here, this OA and OB are radii of circle. So this OA and OB are radii of circle here. So this part is called, so this shaded part is called sector. So how do you define a sector? Sector means it is bounded by two radii and arc of a circle. And the arc of a circle. So my dear students, this is called sector. This is called sector. Okay. See, you know the area of a circle. What is the area of a circle? You are very familiar with this formula. The area of a circle is equals to pi r square, where r is equals to the radius of the circle. Okay. And what about pi? Pi is equals to, as I told you, 22 over 7, 22 by 7 or 3.14. Okay, this is approximate value. This is not exact value. Why? Because the decimal representation of 22 over 7, it has almost 1 trillion decimal places. Okay, anyway, my dear students, this is the area of a circle, and I already explained about the circumference. C is equals to 2 pi r. Okay, now coming to the what? Area of a sector. See, look here. It is a circle. Just imagine this is the what? Sector. The angle between the two radii is theta. The angle between these two radii is theta. So the area of a sector means it is what? The circle, the total angle of a circle is 360 degrees. That means this part of the angle is, the total angle of the circle is 360 degrees, but this part of the angle is theta by 360 of the area of a circle. That means that is equals to pi r square. Theta by 360 of pi r square. So why? Because here the total area of this circle is pi r square. So but this part of the sector is theta by 360. So theta by 360 into pi r square is equals to what? The area of a sector. Okay, my dear students. So here, and one more thing, what about the length of this arc? See here, this is called arc. This AXB is called arc. So what is the length of the arc? Length of the arc, as I told you, the total length of the arc is called circumference of a circle. That is, C is equals to 2 pi r. This is the circumference. That means the total length of the arc. Understand? If you start from here and if you make a round like this, then this total length is called the circumference. But here, just this AXB is just small part of a circle. So here also the total angle is 360 degrees. that is circular angle or complete angle. So here this part is theta by 360. So that means theta by 360 into the total length of the arc of a circle, that is 2 pi r. That means the length of the arc is equals to L is equals to theta by 360 into 2 pi r. So my dear students, this is the length of the arc. L is equals to theta by 360 into 2 pi r, where theta is the angle between the two radii. Even the area of a sector is A is equals to theta by 360 into pi r square. So my dear students, in this class, these concepts will helpful to solve the problems in the last exercises. Okay, and one more thing, my dear students, here the main important topic, the title of the topic, the title of the lesson or chapter is tangents and secants to a circle. Tangents and secants to a circle. So what is a tangent? Tangent, it is very important. Listen carefully here. Suppose this is a circle and I have given a line, a straight line to you. Okay, just I given a circle and a line. Then you can arrange this line as what? They do not intersect each other. And another way, in another case, you can arrange the line and circle like this. That means it intersecting at 2 points. Here, in this case, my dear students, this line, it does not intersect this circle here. And here in this case, just you are arranging this line by intersecting the circle at 2 points. Here, A and B. Of course, this O is the center of the circle. Okay, see my dear students, and another way is here, just you are arranging this line as like this. That means it touches the circle at exactly at 1 point. So my dear students, if a line intersects the circle at exactly 1 point is called the tangent of a circle. That means this line intersecting this circle at 1 point, let it be C here. So this line is called tangent. Tangent means a line which intersects the circle at exactly at 1 point is called the tangent. Okay, see in this case, this line, it does not intersect the circle, but here in this case, this line intersects the circle at exactly 1 point, so it is called tangent of the circle. Okay, so how many common points to a circle and this line? So it has only one common point. So this is the point of contact. So where it contacts the circle at C, so it is called the point of contact. Similarly, here in this case, my dear students, this line intersects the circle at 2 different points, at 2 distinct points. So this is called secant of a circle. Secant means if a line intersects a circle at 2 points, at 2 different points, so that line is called a secant of a circle. So my dear students, you know what is tangent and what is secant. Tangent means what? A line which intersects the circle or which touches the circle at exactly at 1 point is called what? The tangent of a circle. That is called the tangent of the circle. Okay, what about secant? If what? A line intersects the circle at 2 distinct points, so it is called the secant of a circle. That is called secant of a circle. I hope you understand what is tangent and what is secant. See my dear students, let us learn how to draw a tangent to a circle. Tangent to a given circle. Okay. Now the next topic is just how to draw a tangent to a circle. Construction of a tangent to a circle. Okay, just take a circle here. Take a circle with your convenient radius. O is the center of the circle. Just mark the point P on the circle. Mark the point P on the circle and join this OP. What is the first step we did here? Just with some convenient radius, just take a circle, and O is the center of the circle. You know what is the, where is the center of the circle? Okay, so by using circular we draw a circle. So here this point is called center of the circle. This just take a point P on the circle and join OP. Now draw the what? Perpendicular to this OP. You know how to draw the perpendicular. So just draw the perpendicular to this OP. So this is called tangent. This line is called tangent. Okay, students. So my dear students, this line just touches or intersects the circle at exactly one point. So this is called the tangent of a circle. So my dear students, you know how to construct a tangent to a circle. Now what? Let us learn some theorems here. The first theorem is the tangent at any point of a circle is perpendicular to the radius of the point of contact. Okay, let me write the statement here. See theorem 9.1 here. The tangent at any point of a circle, is perpendicular to the radius through the point of contact. That means here O is the center of the circle, center of a circle, and OP is what? OP is radius, and this XY is a tangent. XY is a tangent. What we have to prove here? To prove this OP is perpendicular to this tangent. Here this OP is perpendicular to the tangent. See my dear students, here we have to prove this OP is perpendicular to XY. That means just take a point here. Take any point on this tangent. Q is a point on the tangent. This XY. So here let us take this OQ is, let us assume that OQ is, this OQ is just, it is perpendicular to OQ is perpendicular to the tangent XY. Okay, this OQ is perpendicular to, if this Q is inside of the circle means this XY is not a tangent, it becomes a secant of a circle. Okay, my dear students, our conclusion here is this Q is outside of a circle. Okay, that means this Q is outside of a circle. Why? If it is inside of a circle, that XY will become a secant. Okay, now my dear students, therefore this OQ is greater than OP. No, the distance between O and to the point on the tangent Q is greater than the distance of center to the point on the circle. Of course, this point P is the point of contact of the tangent at the circle. Okay, so my dear students, this OP is radius, so this OQ is greater than the radius. OQ is greater than radius. So my dear students, take any point other than P. So take any point on this tangent, so that point to the center of the circle is greater than the radius. So my dear students, here therefore OP is what? OP must be perpendicular to XY. Why? Because this OP only the shortest distance. This OP, the distance between the center to the point of contact of the tangent, only the shortest distance. Why? Because why this OP is perpendicular to XY means OP is shortest distance to the center of the circle, So since this OP is the shortest distance to the center of the circle, therefore this OP must be perpendicular to XY. We already learned in class 9. in triangles, in chapter triangles, the perpendicular distance is the shortest distance. So my dear students, this OP is perpendicular to XY. That means the tangent at any point of circle is perpendicular to the radius through the point of contact. That means this OP is perpendicular to XY. Therefore, this OP is perpendicular to XY. Understand? Just I will repeat here. See my dear students, what we have to prove and what is given here. This radius is perpendicular to the what? Tangent to a circle. We have to prove that this radius is perpendicular to the tangent to the circle at the point of contact. See my dear students, here take any point on this tangent other than P. Take any point on the tangent other than P. Okay, so this Q is, this OQ is, the distance between O and Q is greater than the distance between O and P. That means the radius. Not only this OQ. Suppose if you take here some S, this OS is also greater than OP. Why? Because this S is outside of the circle. If you take this inside of the circle, then XY will become what? Secant. That's why any point other than P which is greater than the what? This distance would be greater than the radius of the circle. Okay, but all these points lies on this what? Tangent are greater than, that means the distance are from the centers are greater than the radius of the circle except this P. So my dear students, this OP is the shortest distance. Therefore, we can come to the conclusion that this OP is perpendicular to XY. Why? The perpendicular distance is the shortest distance, or the shortest distance from a given point is the what? Perpendicular to the given line. I hope you understand this theorem. This theorem will helpful to find what? To solve the different sums in this coming exercise. Okay my dear students, the next topic here is find the length of the tangent of a circle. To find the length of the tangent of a circle. The next topic is finding length of the tangent. Finding length of the tangent. We already proved the first theorem, theorem 9.1. Okay, see, just take a circle and O is the center of the circle and this is the tangent. The point of contact is A and we draw a tangent to a circle from external point P. So this OA is called radius of the circle and OP is the distance between the center to the circle and to the external point P. As we proved, the angle between the radius and the tangent at this point of contact is 90 degrees. So this angle is 90 degrees here. This angle is 90 degrees. The angle between radius and the tangent at the point of contact is 90 degrees. Okay students. So my dear students, here this is the radius of a circle and this is the length of the tangent. This is the length of the tangent. Length of the tangent. So it is denoted by small l and this distance from center to the external point of a circle is P. Okay. See my dear students, here AOP is a right angle triangle. AOP is a right angled triangle. This AOP is a right angle triangle. Okay, you know what is AP? AP is equals to length of the tangent and OP is the distance between the external point to the center of the circle and OA is equals to radius. OA is equals to radius. See my dear students, according to Pythagoras theorem, this OP is the hypotenuse. Why? Because it is exactly opposite to the right angle. So OP is the hypotenuse here. So here it is not P, sorry, it is D, right? So this OP is the hypotenuse. Now according to Pythagoras theorem, the square of hypotenuse is equals to sum of the squares of other two sides. That means L square plus R square. This D square is equals to L square plus R square. So here L square is equals to D square minus R square. So finally this L is equals to square root of D square minus R square. So therefore the length of the tangent to the circle is L is equals to root of D square minus R square. So my dear students, this is very important. To find the length of the tangent, we use this formula. L is equals to root of d square minus r square, where d is the distance between center to the circle to the external point, and r is the radius of the circle. Okay. So far what we have learned, tangent means it's a line meets the circle at exactly one point is called the tangent. What is a secant? Secant is also a line which intersects the circle at two distinct points is called the secant of a circle. And the third theorem we learned here is what? Theorem 9.1. So the theorem 9.1 says the angle between tangent and the radius at the point of contact is right angle or 90 degrees. And the fourth point what we have learned just now is finding the length of the tangent here. So this d square is equals to L square plus R square by using Pythagoras theorem. So from this, L is equals to what? We derived root of d square minus R square. This is the length of the tangent of a circle. See my dear students, here now we will start exercise 9.1. We will start exercise 9.1. There are some blanks here. The first blank is, fill in the blanks. A tangent to a circle intersects in dash points. Exercise 9.1, the first bit is like this. Fill in the blanks. Fill in the blanks. The first one is a tangent to a circle. Just I will write. Okay. See my students, here fill in the blanks in exercise 9.1. The first one is a tangent to a circle intersects in dash points. You are very familiar with this bit. See, in a circle, according to the definition of a circle, a tangent, it intersects the circle at exactly one point. So this is only one point. If it intersects more than one, that is 2, then that line is called secant. Okay, right. A line intersecting a circle in 2 points is called secant. Secant. Okay, understood? We have already learned these definitions. A circle can have dash parallel tangents at the most. Okay, I forgot to explain this. See, just take a circle and this is what? Just a tangent here. And this is another tangent. That means we can draw only 2 parallel tangents to a circle. We cannot draw more than 2 parallel tangents. Actually, we can draw infinitely many tangents to a circle, but the tangents which are parallel to each other means we can draw only 2 tangents at the most. That means here the answer is 2. That means a circle can have 2 parallel tangents at the most. Understood, students? See, if you draw any other tangent, then that is not parallel to this line, this tangent. Okay. Fourth one, the common point of a tangent to a circle and the circle is called point of contact. I have already explained. So this point is called point of contact. This point is called point of contact. Point of contact. Okay. Now coming to the fifth one, we can draw dash tangents to a given circle. Yes, infinitely many tangents. Infinite tangents we can draw to a circle. How? Let me show you here. This is the tangent, this is the tangent, this is the tangent, this is the tangent, this is the tangent. Like that we can draw infinitely many tangents to a circle. But a circle can have only 2 parallel tangents at the most, right? Okay. Here, second question in exercise 9.1. Exercise 9.1. Okay. A tangent Q, a tangent PQ at point P of a circle of radius 5 centimeters. This is the circle, a tangent PQ at a point P of a circle of radius what? 5 centimeters meets a line through the center O. Okay, right. See here, this OQ is equals to 13 centimeters. find the length of PQ. Find the length of PQ. See my dear students, here this P is the point of contact, Q is an external point of a circle, this PQ is the length of the tangent. Okay, what about this OQ? OQ is the radius of the circle, that is given 13 centimeters. OQ is equals to, sorry, the radius is given what, 5 centimeters. So the radius of the circle is 5 centimeters and OQ is equals to 13 centimeters. See, here we have to find the length of the tangent. So according to theorem 9.1, my dear students, the radius and the tangent at the point of contact of a circle is called 90 degrees, is 90 degrees. That means this angle is 90 degrees. Therefore, my dear students, this OPQ is a right angle triangle. So the length of the tangent, to find the length of the tangent, this OQ square is equals to OP square plus PQ square. So OQ is what? 13 square is equals to OP square means 5 square plus PQ square. So 169 is equals to 25 plus PQ square. So what is PQ square, my dear students? 169 minus 25. So PQ square is equals to 144. So PQ is equals to square root of 144. This is equals to 12. So the length of the tangent is 12 centimeters. Therefore, the length of the tangent is equals to 12 centimeters. Okay. Now coming to the next one. Actually, this third one is a construction. I will make a separate video, all the constructions in a single shot. Okay. Right. This third sum you can refer that in the coming video. Okay. Fourth one, calculate the length of the tangent from a point 15 centimeters away from the center of a circle of radius 9 centimeters. Okay, here also we should find the length of the tangent here. Okay, here what is the information given here in the statement? The length of the tangent from a point 15 centimeters away from the center of the circle. So this point is 15 centimeters, which is away from the center of the circle. So this is the tangent. So just this is called what? This is OQP. Okay. Now this is 15 centimeters and radius of this circle is 9 centimeters. So we should find the length of the tangent. Calculate the length of the tangent. Okay, so as I told you, the angle between this radius and the tangent at this point of contact of a circle is 90 degrees. So my dear students, this is a right angle triangle like this. Okay, now this OP square is equals to OQ square plus PQ square. That means this OP square is equals to 15 square. It is equals to OQ is 9 square plus PQ square. PQ is the length of the tangent. So this 225 is equals to 81 plus PQ square. So PQ square is equals to 225 minus 81. Okay. Now here just subtract it here. 5 minus 1 is 4. Here 12 minus 8 is again 4. So here this is 144. Right. So PQ square is equals to 144. What about PQ square root of 144? This is equals to 12 centimeters. That means the length of this tangent PQ is equals to what? 12 centimeters. Actually, these two sums are same model only. Okay. Now coming to the last question in this exercise, my dear students. That is fifth question here. Fifth question in this exercise 9.1, the statement is, prove that the tangents to a circle at the endpoints of diameter are parallel. Okay, prove that. Fifth one, prove that the tangents to a circle at the endpoints of a diameter of a circle. At the endpoints of diameter of a circle. Diameter of a circle are parallel. Okay. See here, just take a circle here. Just draw a circle like this. And this is the O is the center of the circle. See, there are two tangents which are ends of the diameter of the circle. See here, this AB is the diameter. Okay, let me write here. Given AB is diameter of AB is the diameter of a circle. AB is the diameter of a circle with center O. With center O. Here, these two tangents, this L and M, this L and M are the two tangents. L and M. The small l and small m are tangents. Are tangents drawn at the endpoints of the diameter of a circle. These two tangents are drawn okay. These two tangents are drawn at the endpoints of the diameter of a circle. Endpoints of the diameter of a circle. Of the diameter of a circle. Diameter of a circle. Okay. See what we have to prove here. To prove, can you see my dear students? To prove these two lines are parallel. That means L is parallel to M. Okay, let me explain the statement here. See here my dear students. The statement is prove that the tangents to a circle, that means these two are the tangents, are drawn at the endpoints of the diameter of a circle. This is the diameter. AB are the endpoints of the diameter of a circle. So these two tangents are drawn at the endpoints of the diameter of a circle, at the ends. These tangents are drawn at the ends of endpoints of the diameter of a circle. So are parallel. That means these two tangents are, we have to prove they are parallel to each other. So this is given, this is to be proved. Okay. See my dear students, suppose if it is C and this is some D here, you know, according to theorem 9.1, what? This angle CAB is equals to CAO or CAB is equals to 90 degrees. Here, since L is a tangent, L is a tangent, and this OA is a radius. OA is a radius of a circle. OA is a radius of a circle. This angle CAO is equals to 90 degrees. Since theorem 9.1, the angle between the radius and this tangent at the point of contact is 90 degrees. So this angle is 90 degrees. Of course, this angle is also 90 degrees. Okay. Now my dear students, again here this M is a what? M is a tangent. M is a tangent and OB is the radius of the circle. OB is the radius of a circle. Okay. That means this OB, angle OBD is also equals to 90 degrees. According to the same theorem, theorem 9.1. What is the theorem 9.1 says? The angle between the radius and the tangent at the point of contact is 90 degrees. Okay. See, let it be, this is equation 1 and this is equation 2. Here this angle CAO is 90 degrees and angle OBD is also 90 degrees. Then we can write angle CAO is equals to equal angle OBD. Angle CAO equal to angle OBD. This is equals to angle OBD from equation 1 and 2. From 1 and 2. See my dear students, if you observe here, this angle CAO and angle OBD are equal means these two angles are what? If AB is a transversal means These two angles are called alternate interior angles. When the alternate interior angles are equal, alternate interior angles are equal here. When the two alternate interior angles are equal, when these two lines are parallel to each other. Therefore, here, my dear students, this L is parallel to M. Okay, see, if AB is a transversal and if the two angles, alternate interior angles are equal, means then these two lines are parallel to each other. That means the tangents drawn at the end points of the diameter of a circle are parallel to each other. That means L is parallel to M. Hence it is proved. Hence it is proved. I hope you understand the introduction which I taught in this video and the exercise 9.1. See, my dear students, I request everyone, if you really like my videos, please like, share and subscribe my channel. And don't forget to write in the comment box. Thank you very much. And in the coming videos, we can upload the remaining exercises. Thank you very much.